The tribunal chamber aboard the galactic judiciary ship Rexon's will echoed with a single word: guilty. High Enforcer Trell of the Zalari Dominion stood tall, silver-scaled and proud, her 4 eyes glaring at the human male across the room. She was a decorated officer, fierce and loyal. Her only crime, destroying a human freighter, she assumed was smuggling weapons during a volatile ceasefire. But the freighter had carried refugees. Human ones. And the Dominion, disparate too. Keep peace after centuries of war with the Terran Alliance. Couldn't afford a scandal. Not now. The sentence was ... unthinkable. You will marry a Terran. The sentence was passed coldly by the Council of Nine. Not as a spouse, but as a symbol of unity, reparation, and control. Trell's claws clenched. You mean humiliation. We mean diplomacy. Trell met her husband on a neutral orbital colony known as Bridgepoint 9. The humans called him Elias Ward, a former soldier turned civilian liaison. He had a calm demeanor, dark eyes that missed nothing, and a presence that irritated her. He smiled when he saw her. So, you're the war criminal I married? She snarled. And you're the monkey I'm chained to. The officiator, a bored droid, completed the ceremony in minutes. No rings, no celebration. Just binding papers, signed by both parties. They were assigned a shared apartment overlooking the colony's artificial lake. Trell demanded her own room. Elias didn't argue. For weeks, silence ruled their quarters. He cooked. She ate in her room. He tried polite conversation. She responded with hisses, but he didn't lash out. Didn't try to control. Her. He simply ... existed. And that was what disturbed her most. It was a stormy artificial night when the silence finally cracked. A fire suppression malfunction activated in the middle of her sleep cycle. Trell woke to water blasting through her vents, shorting out the climate regulator. Her scaled skin burned from the sudden cold. She stormed into the main room, soaked and shivering. Elias was already awake, rerouting circuits with calm efficiency. You look like a drowned iguana. He smirked without looking up. She growled. And you smell like wheat protein sludge. He chuckled. Guess we're even. Then he paused. You're shivering. I'm fine. He approached anyway, cautiously like a human might approach a wounded animal. I've got thermal blankets. Just ... She opened her mouth to refuse, to curse him again, but her limbs betrayed her. Cold, exhausted. She sat. He wrapped the blanket over her shoulders, his hand brushing against her scales, and sucked and surged inside her. A pulse. Not physical. Not electrical. Something else. Her eyes snapped toward his. Elias had felt it too. What did you do? She whispered. He looked just as stunned. I don't know. I touched you. That's all. But it wasn't just that. Zalari physiology was complex. They communicated through pheromones, thermal fluctuations, and subtle bioelectric fields. Her kind had never had physical contact with a human like this, and certainly not with intent. Trell pulled away, confused, alarmed, but something inside her wouldn't stop burning. The days after were worse than silence. Now she watched him too much. Every time his hand moved, every time he spoke. His scent filled the apartment, and it no longer smelled offensive. It smelled ... comforting. Dangerous. He noticed too. His joking stopped. His eyes lingered. You're not what I expected, he said one day, not meeting her gaze. Neither are you, she replied stiffly. A pause. You ever wonder what would have happened if we met under ... different terms? No, she lied. It wasn't until she got sick her immune system, reacting to a human-born pathogen, that everything came undone. She collapsed in the living area, burning with fever, unable to regulate her temperature. Elias found her. Carried her. She fought him weakly. You done single quotes T ... touch me ... You're my wife, he snapped, even if they forced it. You're not dying. He tended to her, day and night, whispered to her through the fever. Held her hand. She dreamed of stars and fire and his voice calling her back. When she woke, days later, she was in his bed warm, safe, alive. He sat beside her, half asleep in a chair. Her hand found his without thinking. This time, he didn't flinch. I should hate you, she said softly. You still can, he whispered. But I don't think you do. No, I don't. Their arrangement became something more quietly, carefully. Their touches more frequent. There. Arguments softened. She laughed for the first time in years. Then news came. The Dominion wanted her back. Reinstated. Political maneuvering. She had a choice now: return to her world. To honor, command ... or stay ... as a wife. As something else ... she stood in front of the shuttle. Elias beside her. No orders this time, he said. No sentence, just you. Her claws brushed his fingers. Trell looked at the stars. Then at him. I was sentenced to marry you, she said. But what awakened that night ... I choose that.